specifically on the day of the incident, on June the 18th, 2014, in reviewing the computers and phones and things like that of the defendants, did you uncover anything of what he was doing during that day while his child was out in the car?
Yes.
Okay. What did you uncover?
He was having up to 6 different conversations with different women. It appeared from the messages from Kik mostly, which is a messaging service.
And is that a computer-related messaging service?
It is.
And these conversations he was having with these females, were these, of what nature were they?
The most common term would be sexting.
Were photos being sent back and forth between these women and the defendant during this day while the child's out in the car?
Yes, there were photos of his exposed penis, erect penis being sent. There were also photos of women's breasts being sent back to him.
Now, have you located every one of these girls that he's had contact with?
I have not.
Have you located any of them?
I've located 2 of them.
Okay. The first one, I won't use the username, but I guess, for lack of a better term, the older one.
Mm-hmm.
Did you speak with her?
I did.
And what did she say?
She stated that she had first met Ross, and she knew him as Ross through Scout, which is another messaging service, and that he had met up and that he wanted to hook up with her.
And did she talk to you and confirm the nature of what you saw on these chats back and forth?
Yes, she did.
Okay. Now, I'm going to turn your attention. Was there also another girl that you met and that you've spoken with?
I have.
And how old is that girl?
She is 17 at this time.
How old was she when the defendant began these?
Judge, I'm going to object. I mean, I let a little bit of this go, but I don't see how this has anything to do with anything.
Your Honor,
If this is something that's going on during the middle of the day, I don't think it's relevant. What would be relevant would be the time period when the child was initially left in the car.
Your Honor, this goes to negligence through the day, what he's doing through the day instead of worrying about his kid. It also goes to motive and marital problems between he and his wife and his unhappiness.
I'm unclear as to the time frame. Do you have?
Yes. I'll clear it up. Okay. And so these messages and these chats, did they start in the morning?
They do.
Okay. And did they continue throughout the day?
They do.
And when did they end?
Around 3 o'clock that afternoon.
Okay. So about an hour before he left.
Overrule the objection.
Okay. Now, this 16-year-old girl, with these chats of or now 17, they started when she was 16.
Correct.
Were these sexually involved as well?
They were.
Okay. Did she send him a picture that day?
She did.
Of what?
She sent a picture of her exposed breasts.
And did he send any pictures to her?
He did. He sent a picture of his exposed erect penis.
Now, we talked a little bit about these computers. Have you guys done examinations on these computers?
We have.
Are you finished with your examination of these computers?
We've only scratched the surface.
Now, based upon your review of these computers and other devices that he's had contact with, is it obvious that he has deleted some of the things from cross-referencing these computers and phones and items?
Yes.
Now, I'm going to turn your attention, again, like I said, motive as to his marital status, issues he's having, and his state of mind. Did the wife tell you anything they were having any problems in their marriage?
Leanna stated that they're having intimacy problems.
Were there texts and texts and messages talking about the fact that his wife knew he had cheated on her before?
Yes, there were.
Okay. And let's talk about and move up to about 2 weeks before the child's death. With one of these people he was having a conversation with, did he talk about exposing himself while he's chatting and messaging this girl?
Yes.
And was he sending pictures?
Yes.
And did he admit to her that he was not alone while he was doing it?
Yes.
Detective, on the 5th of June, he talks about being a guitar player with this girl. She asked him about cheating on his wife. Did she ask him a question about his conscience?
She did.
What did she ask him?
She's who?
She's this other girl he is sexting with.
Thank you.
And she does. And
Objection. That's
Same
no way
response.
relevant to anything.
Final question, he says, Mr. Kilgore. I'm going to allow a question and answer, and then we're moving on.
she says something to the effect of, "Do you have a conscience?"
And what was his response?
Nope.